big weapon.
Are you ready?
Big weapon on a tiny bat. 4,
No!
3,
I said
2,
are
2,
you
1. Fight robots, fight!
Hey there, this is Seth Schiefer from Team Just Cause Robotics. I hope you liked that intro. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more like that. Today is going to be my event recap from the May 2021 Norwalk Havoc Robot League event, which I attended with my 3-pound vertical spinner, Division. The competition was tougher than ever at this event, and this was the first time that Norwalk Havoc has ever had their entire entry list completely filled. More than 80 Beetleweight robots in the 3-pound class went to compete. If you'd like to learn more about the Norwalk Havoc Robot League tournaments, there will be links in the description, and you should definitely check out their YouTube channel where they showed a 12-hour-long live stream of this entire event when it was airing on Saturday 2 weekends ago. So right after the tournament, I released my Division overview to show the upgrades that I made to Division, which you should also watch at the card above, and I now will be showing you all of the actual fights that I had during this event. Now, unfortunately, I prepared very little for this tournament. I only had about 4 days after work to get Division ready for this event, and I wanted to make a bunch of changes, and that came back to bite me in some ways that you'll see shortly. But like with anything in this sport, you have to know how to have fun whether you win or lose. And it wasn't as if I came away with absolutely nothing. So I definitely learned a lot from this event, even in the losses, and you'll get to see exactly how that went down shortly. There's a lot more information about how the Norwalk Havoc tournament is run in one of my other videos, the November Norwalk Havoc, which I will link to in the card above here, but the short of it is that this tournament is run as a double elimination tournament, so once you get 2 losses, you are out. There will be competition among rookies, there will be competition among professional Battlebots competitors such as myself, there will be brand new people who've never competed before, there will be people who've competed all across the country, there are robots from everywhere, from California and Mexico down to local competitors coming from down the street in Connecticut. Just to give you some idea of the level of competition here, the robot that I fought in the very first round of competition when I fought here last in February, this time around managed to beat Silent Spring, who later on fought its way through the losers bracket, winning a total of 11 fights to take the tournament for this event and making it the 4th time that it has won this entire Norwalk Havoc tournament. Silent Spring, of course, driven by Sawblaze captain and driver Jameson Go. Blink and you'll miss it, but right here on the table, that vertical spinner there is actually my very first opponent for this tournament. That robot is called Sepiol, according to its builder Luke. It is spelled Sepi01, but pronounced Sepiol for some reason. And it is a modular robot that can either be a horizontal spinner or a vertical spinner, which was something that tripped me up, unfortunately, with that first matchup. Sepiol has been competing at Norwalk Havoc for about a year now, and unbeknownst to me, he completely redesigned and rebuilt the robot from scratch just prior to this May competition. In every single fight that he has ever had with previous iterations of the robot, he only ever ran his vertical spinner attachment against other vertical spinners, and his horizontal spinner attachment against other horizontal spinners. So naturally, I tested out my brand new vertical spinner configuration on Division against him, thinking he would run as a vertical spinner, and it turned out that I was completely wrong. With that introduction out of the way, I'll let you guys watch the fight, then during a replay from my own camera angles, I will give my own commentary, and after that, we will get a post-fight damage breakdown and a post-fight interview with Luke himself, and I will follow that same format for all of my fights throughout this competition.
Usually a really reliable robot. This is something brand new for them.
Now, Division looks kind of like Deep 6, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got some Deep 6 energy for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and one of the big things that you're always looking for in Division is just chaos in the box. We are going to see a robot that's going to be flipped multiple times. And Seth really knows this design. Every single time he comes to Norwalk, he's dialing this in. I am so stoked to see this fight.
3, 2, 1. Fight, robots, fight. We're getting weapons up to speed. Really nice control from Division. They zipped around to the backside of CPU1. And there's the chaos that we're used to seeing from Division. Just ditting across the floor. That weapon is flinging not just themselves.
Oh my God, Kyle, it's done the thing.
It's done. No. It's not done anything. It is just stuck those wedgelets into the floor, and now it's back.
Let's go, Seth. Come on.
We got those long feeder wedgelets up in the air, and there goes. That's a tap out. Seth taps out. The entire drive side
of Division is just hanging by a thread.
fell right out, and rather than continue attempting to fight with one half of your drive, just call it.
Wow.
Don't
Look at that shot right there.
Look at that. That is.
Oh my God.
Wow. That is robot carnage if I've ever seen it right there. Graphic.
So, ouch. Yeah, basically what happened here is that my vertical spinner configuration has these forks that stick up on the sides, and they are very much not designed to be hit horizontally. And when they do get hit horizontally, they peel the sides of my robot off with the wheels and gear motors still attached. My new TPU hubs also apparently didn't hold up very well because one of them just like flew off, but either way, I was definitely not going to win this fight, especially not with those front forks stuck up in the air, which was a design issue with those front wedges that hold the forks, unfortunately. So yeah, this fight was over pretty fast.
So if you were curious what happens when you run the wrong configuration, this is what happens. I have the horizontal ready to go, but I brought this back because in every previous competition he fought with the against Verts, and he even told me when I came back with him, I saw he was running the horizontal, he was like, I thought you'd watch all my old fights and see I always run the Vert against Verts. And he's like, I rebuilt the robot from scratch, and every configuration I have can only take in-plane hits except this one. So, I mean, he did exactly what he needed to do. Like, honestly, the setup's just not designed to take those hits because the forks stick out so far. All he has to do is hit there, and it just levers the whole side off. So that's what happened. But this motor stayed plugged in, and it looks like it's still fine. The gearbox appears to be fine. This one, also, the gearbox appears to be fine. The wheel just kind of exploded. But look at the hub. The hub took a direct shot right here, and it's still intact. It's still like in one piece, which is hilarious. So TPU is good, but not for threading screws into, which is the problem I had here. So the motor unplugged itself, I plugged it back in. I'm gonna see if it works now. That works. Seems to work fine, honestly.
So I'm Lucas Biermeyer. My robot is Sepiol.
Alright, Sepiol?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
I always say it wrong.
Okay, so you have a modular robot, right?
Yep.
You can see here, this is the chassis. You want to talk about what your strategy was going into the fight and what happened?
Yeah, so I've used my vert module a lot in the past. The reason for that is in the past, my vert and horizontal modules were actually the same. I just rotated it 90 degrees.
Right.
So my horizontal wasn't very big. This time, I redesigned my horizontal, so it is significantly bigger. And I was hoping that Division would think I would still run the vert.
That was exactly what actually happened, yeah. Mistakes were made.
So I ran the mid cutter, and it went mostly as planned. One of my wheels turned out to be slightly smaller.
Did it actually hit you, like, at all?
So when you look at the blade, on the tip, there's cuts going both ways, and I never flipped over.
Okay.
So I think some of those hits would have been you scraping up on it.
Fair enough. I didn't hit anything important, though, it looks like.
No.
Is that meant to be there? Oh, yeah, that's meant to be there. Yeah.
Maybe? Some of the prints didn't turn out the best. So it's hard to tell what was print damage, or just bad prints versus damage from Division.
I mean, hey, it worked. So,
Yeah.
congrats, that was a well-fought fight, and I just completely used the wrong config.
My next fight in the losers bracket was supposed to be against a robot called Hobgoblin, which is a vertical spinning gyro walker, but unfortunately it didn't even show up at the event, so I ended up getting a pass on that one and technically awarded a win. After that, my opponent was going to be a Melty Brain horizontal spinner known as Marceline. This is another robot, also from WPI, but this was a brand new builder with her first ever robot, and she was just here to have fun and see what Robot Combat is all about, and threw this robot together with some help from the other WPI teammates so that she could try out the fun. She unfortunately didn't have it quite working in her first fight, but let's see how it went this time.
This is the second fight ever for Marceline. Marceline, of course, is yet another one of the Melty Brain spinners, and Division is just the biggest weapon you can get on a tiny robot. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fight, robots, fight! Whoa,
Wow.
that would be a box rush from a Melty Brain. Not what you're expecting.
Oh, and we are seeing much better reliability from Marceline.
Marceline's had a little bit more time to figure their stuff out. That was great. Marceline bent up that frame, but it seems like that TPU is doing its job. Oh, that's not good. That was some wiring hanging out. The wiring looked cut. Yeah, that's a tap out right there. Wow. That weapon on Division is frightening, but great job, Marceline. They were doing a really good job being aggressive at the beginning of there. That box rush, which you just don't expect to see from a Melty Brain, was great. But that weapon on Division is just too much.
This is the last time that we're going to be seeing Marceline today, but I really want to commend the builder, Lauren Hatfield, for coming out, building something new, trying something else. That's pretty ambitious.
Yeah, she's been a person here to observe and watch in the past. She's never actually competed in any robot event before, but because she got to be a spectator here, she was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this a shot. This looks like a lot of fun. She worked with some members of the Ribbot team to help put the robot together, and they gave her lots of advice and direction, and she was able to come out here and compete today and have a good time and learn some things, and I'm sure she's gonna come back with much different and improved design into the future, with everything she learned today.
I love a Melty Brain, and I really like that TPU body on the Melty Brain.
Yeah, such a cool idea, right?
Yeah, that was a good concept.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Seth Schaefer, Division, scary bot. Always will be.
This time, since I was fighting a horizontal spinner, I went with my tried and true anti-horizontal config, which is how Division's been in every other past fight, and it still works. Surprise! Turns out that Marceline is a very tall robot, and it has soft TPU plastic sides and metal lids, which meant that with my new cutter blade, which is designed to cut through plastics, I would slice deep into the plastic sides and then just hit the underside of the lid, tweaking it upwards like you saw here, and absolutely launching that bot straight into the ceiling. Unfortunately, none of the camera angles quite captured how high it went, but yeah, Division hits hard, and right here you can see sparks shooting out of the bot as my blade actually severed the power wires between the battery and power switch. And then here another several hits that are just slowly knocking out more and more of the screws, holding the top down as it gets successively bent further and further upwards. Definitely an awesome showing of power from Division this time.
I'm grabbing that ESC.
That was awesome.
Thanks, that was great. Okay, sorry.
All right, this is what Division looks like after that fight. It looks like I've got some nicks here, which I'm not sure if those are from Seppi or from this bot, but I'm guessing they're from Seppi. But otherwise, basically zero damage. I hit them really freaking hard, and the robot worked. So at the very end, after the fight, I was kind of not able to drive because this fork got bent up when I was flipping around. But no substantive damage, it looks like. Everything's good to go.
Hi, I'm Lauren Hatfield. I'm from WPI, and I just got wrecked a little bit, but it was really fun.
All right, cool. So what was your strategy going into the fight?
So I wanted to go somewhere and spin fast, and hopefully you would hit me, and I might hit you back.
That's a fair strategy for this type of robot. So what do you think? What do you think happened here? here?
Well, you hit me really good a few times. You opened up the top plate there, and some of the wires came out, and then you cut the wires. Yeah, so we got the motor wires, the power, and we think this died.
Oh no.
The receiver, but we're not
Receiver issues are the
100%
worst.
sure. Yeah, because this motor's not working, even though all the wires are still connected. Theoretically should be working, so
Did you have fun?
that was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Awesome.
It was a good time.
Nice to meet you.
My next fight was against the vertical spinning beater bar robot of Blackbird, another Norwalk Havoc veteran competitor who went pretty far in this tournament and was doing very well. I knew that I designed my vertical spinner configuration just to fight bots like this, but also that, with the design flaws I found out from my first fight, it probably wasn't going to end well. But there was only one way to really find out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fight, robots, fight! So here we go. Blackbird, Division. Division actually showing some control and also showing us a lot of plywood dust.
Division's lost a wheel. I just saw it roll away.
Yeah, that's true. Division stuck in one place. They're still able to gyro around. They're still trying to gyro around. This is their last opportunity in the loser's bracket, so they're going to keep trying it. Division, of course, driven by Seth Schaefer of Team Bloodsport. YouTube star Seth Schaefer. Ooh, nice hit there.
Big, nasty vertical weapon. And really, Anthony D'Ambrosio is just sitting back and seeing if Division will kill itself. It's really quite a smart strategy this late in the game.
Yeah, for sure. At this war of attrition, just let your opponents, especially an opponent like Division, do their own damage in this match, especially this early in the match. Anthony's got time to do those hits if he needs to.
If Anthony can... Oh, here we go.
Let's see that show motion bar come up. Yeah!
Wow.
We see the motion. Oh. They get their one unstick from Bart.
Oh, and there's the other wheel. Oh, perfect, Anthony. Look at that.
And Anthony still gets one unstick from Bart as well, so there's that. And there we go, show motion bar has started.
That is, I'm not seeing motion at all.
No, well, there's no wheels, you know.
There's no weapon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That there
That's
is
the
a
match.
knockout. Blackbird is your winner. Division, thank you so much. Collect some wheels on your way out the door.
So yeah, obviously I lost this fight, but I think you need to understand why I was so excited about just this one hit at the very beginning when I shouted, "Fuck yeah, it works." This is what happened with having hinged front forks at the front of my robot, fighting a beater bar that's spinning at like twice the RPM of my weapon. This is what happened when I fought without those forks against a robot spinning with twice the speed of my weapon. It's losing exchanges like this that will prevent Division from ever getting deep into the tournament bracket at a Norwalk Havoc tournament. There are just too many similar beater bar style bots in the tournament that I'd have to fight through, and losing exchanges like that are what kills me. Right here you can see that the side fork that's actually fixed on the robot was what he hit that tipped my robot backwards. And then of course my front forks got stuck upwards because of a terrible design flaw, which I obviously couldn't quite fix in between the last fight and this one. I really need to change up the geometry of the forks and or the wedges that they're mounted to in order to fix that. The other big downfall of this version of the robot is those TPU hubs were just really slippery, and even though I hot glued them on, they didn't stick to the hot glue like at all, so they would just slide off really easily. And of course when he hit one directly, it was definitely not going to keep the tire on no matter what. I think all things considered though, given how incredibly difficult it is to drive a robot on one wheel, especially one that has such insane gyro problems as Division, I did a decent job actually keeping myself facing Blackbird, and we were both having real issues navigating with the floor as torn up as it was, especially him with all his sharp forks. One of the early hits that I did, you can see bent one of the forks up, and he was actually upside down for a portion when he could basically not drive at all because that fork was just stabbing straight into the ground all the time. Here you can see my weapon kind of stalled, and I had to reverse it to get it to flip out. But then for some reason, my weapon speed controller seemed like it just reset here, and I couldn't get back on to my wheels again. And then he just took off the one remaining wheel, and that was basically it. I kept trying to get out of here. I would have tapped out if I had actually been able to see from my perspective behind Brett that I had lost both of my wheels. But I turned off the transmitter, turned it back on to try and get the ESC to reset, and nothing really worked. But once I got it back into the pits, it seemed to turn on just fine. So I'm still not entirely sure why my weapon died here, but honestly there's no way I was going to win this fight, no matter what happened beyond that point. Anthony D'Ambrosio is an awesome guy and an awesome driver, and his bot is definitely one that you wouldn't want to trifle with in the arena.
This drive side's completely dead. That gearbox exploded, and one of the gears is like on the floor. It might still be usable, but yeah, so that didn't work very well. For once, it got hit by a vert and it exploded because the wheel came off entirely and it didn't absorb any of the impact. I'm not sure why this came off, or if it came off and then it was hit, or if it came off when it was hit at the same time. This side, the hub or the washer got broken, and then this tire just fell off, which sucks because I modified the hub design to add these spikes that I thought wouldn't interfere from like being unable to pull out, but apparently that's not the case. This was designed to work whether or not the washer is on, but clearly that part failed. But yeah, and then he hit the forks on the ends. That one's down, this one up. And he sheared off one of the two screws holding these side forks on both sides. And then he also like launched my forks up until they got stuck, which that's just a shitty design flaw of mine. That should have been easily preventable. But they worked. They did their job at the start. They got under and prevented him from being able to uppercut me and allowed me to uppercut him. That's exactly what they were designed to do, and that was what they did. And so that part of the design I'm very happy with. I just need to change like everything else that failed.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Tony with Team Shredded. I am the operator of Blackbird, and I just had my match with Division.
Division's looking a little worse for wear now.
Mine was also looking a little worse for wear. I've already fixed it a little bit, so don't think I came out unscathed too.
So what was your strategy going in?
You know what? Coming out of my last loss, which was a tap out that I thought my robot was dead, and I tapped out inadvertently. I really wanted to come really aggressive. Sorry that I just want to go head to head with somebody like Division. I mean, this is a really incredibly powerful robot, and I guess force against force is usually my the key to success with Shredded guys, right? Between me and Shredded Bro and X. So yeah, just want to really go weapon to weapon, maybe get around to the side, eat the wheels up a little bit, maybe get some clean shots. But very tough opponent, and the floor out there is really rough right now.
The floor was awful. I was getting stuck all over. So yeah, I designed this configuration basically exactly to fight bots like yours, to be honest, because the whole point was that the angle of attack for my weapon is up instead of backwards, and it basically worked. I mean, the first couple exchanges we had, I just knocked you over. So that part I'm happy with. But then as soon as you got a nice hit and they just got stuck up, then I was basically done. And I don't know why my wheels came off so much more easily now than they ever have before. I switched to CPU hubs, but I've never had a gearbox explode. You definitely got a solid hit on there.
Well, the one thing that really I have going for me with this particular robot that works to my benefit, when I get flipped over, I can put the weapon in full reverse and I can drive inverted. So it doesn't really affect me all that much. I think, obviously you had some trouble with the wheels and things like that, but for me, I think the toughest thing really was just the floor. The floor was my enemy out there today. So our goals for this event with our robot were really to test some new stuff. We've got a brand new cage that we designed for the weapon motors. Angel, my teammate over here, actually designed these, and we've been modifying and kind of working on the design. So this actually prevents our standard 22s from bending under really high impacts. So we're just running the standard motor out of the box. We didn't battle harden it or anything, and it's held up all the way. I'm usually plagued by drivetrain issues, and not a single issue this event. So it's worked out really, really well.
I just have to do that.
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah.
Well, thank you. Awesome.
All right, great fight, dude.
Bye-bye.
Lots of fun.
Ordinarily now I would talk about what changes that I have planned for next time, but I don't really have a set direction I want to go in just yet, since I'm going to be more focused on my new robot shrapnel mine in the coming months. If you guys want to give me some ideas on what I could do to improve Division, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. That's all I have for you today. If you liked this video, click like. If you'd like to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and click the bell icon. And as always, thanks for watching.